Street in downtown Dallas. I am joined by fellow Dallas Consortium for the Downtown Neiman Marcus store members, Linda McMahon, President and CEO of the Dallas Economic Development Corporation, and Sean Todd, founder of Todd Interests, one of the most influential and important developers in downtown Dallas for the past 2 decades. The city manager, Kimberly Beiser Tolbert, cannot be here right now due to other pressing city business, but she shared a statement that I will start by reading now. A statement from the city manager. I have been proud to be part of the Dallas Consortium for the Downtown Neiman Marcus. Last Tuesday, Mr. Ian Putnam agreed to meet in Dallas on this Wednesday, and I have made myself available to meet with them. Since then, I, as city manager, received the deed to the parcel of property that was previously an issue for them. We hope that Saks will live up to their word to come and meet with the consortium in person. Otherwise, I am personally happy to lead a delegation to New York City for a productive meeting. I also want to add that each of us in the consortium has been struck by how important this issue is to so many people. We have received emails, texts, countless media inquiries, and all sorts of people reaching out to say thank you on behalf of their interest in this store remaining in the heart of downtown Dallas. And now I'm going to ask Sean Todd to speak.
Thank you, Jennifer, and good afternoon, everyone. I want to first reiterate something that Jennifer has said about Kimberly Tolbert, the city manager of the city of Dallas. Dallas is a multiple billion-dollar municipal entity. It eats and breathes all night long, 365, 24/7. 8 days ago, the city manager stood here before you and expressed of all of this that this was an opportunity for Texans and for Dallas and not a problem. In less than 12 hours, the city manager brought to a conclusion which Neiman Marcus said had gone on for decades. She solved this in less than 24 hours. That's impressive. That's nimble, that's quick, and that says we care. It says we care about our city, and it says we care greatly about Neiman Marcus. I want to speak briefly to some questions that have been posed about this process. What the consortium has done is we've looked at the public statements expressed via the Dallas Morning News and other news outlets by 2 significant people. One being a spokesperson, unnamed, for Saks Global, and the other being by Saks Global's CEO, Mark Metrick. So let me focus on these statements because that's what's been expressed publicly at the very beginning of this. What's been said publicly is what the city and this consortium has responded to. Brian Womack with the Dallas Morning News reported on February the 18th the Neiman Marcus flagship store was closing. See if I can do this in the wind and holding a microphone. Here's what Brian said. The storage site on Main Street will shutter effective March 31st. According to a statement from Saks Global, the owner of Neiman Marcus. Now listen to this. Despite years-long negotiations, it received a notice from a landlord terminating occupancy, forcing us to close, said the statement. Then a quote from Mark Metrick, the CEO of Global Saks. The shuttering is not a reflection of business performance and is not tied to the recent acquisition. According to an internal memo sent Tuesday to employees by Saks Global Operating Group CEO Mark Metrick, as acquired by the Dallas Morning News. Let's hit pause. That was not a surprise to any of us in Dallas. This magnificent store for decades has been the heartbeat, the lifeblood, the brain. It's been everything to do with luxury retail around the world. It all started here in Texas for a retailer. We've seen the profitability. Billions of dollars have been invested in Dallas's remarkable transformation over the last 10 years in downtown Dallas. much of which have been the focus of people wanting to live here, dine here, establish their businesses here because of Neiman Marcus. So that was encouraging, because what Mr. Metrick said, and we'll give him the benefit, he just took over the acquisition of Neiman Marcus. Those of us that have seen this concur. This is a profitable store and it's working operationally. Mr. Metrick went further to say, Dallas is an important market for us. We remain highly committed to upholding Neiman Marcus' legacy. Actually, the store said that. Then one other very critical statement made by Mr. Metrick. We appreciate how much this location means to so many and are disappointed to be losing a piece of our history due to circumstances beyond our control. Metrick said, this includes the Zodiac Room, whose famous recipes will continue to inspire menus at other locations. Sachs went on to further say that a decades-long disagreement with a property owner and a termination of lease is what kept them from not continuing operations of this store. Well, I can assure you that as City Manager Talbert expressed yesterday and released yesterday by the city, that lease was donated with a massive philanthropic act by the Slaughter family and Steve Rogers, their representative. So here's my question to Sachs, Global CEO Mark Metrick, and to Ian Putnam. 1 + 1 should add up to 2. If you have an operating store, as stated, and it's profitable, as stated, and your sole reason for closing this store was a ground lease that you worked for decades and couldn't reach agreement that's now been solved with by the city of Dallas, then candidly, I'm at a loss. I've looked at every lease under this store. Saks Fifth Avenue owns a large portion of the land under this building. The other leases that are under this building, as Saks will well know, through the federal bankruptcy process, were affirmed by Neiman's. They were not rejected by Neiman's, which means they stay. The one lease that had immediate ending of the 99 years was the Slaughter lease. The other leases have years of time to those leases with multiple extensions. So this is not that difficult. So we welcome, as promised in writing, and I think many of you in the media have this sent to you in writing, that Mr. Putnam said 8 days ago that he would come to Dallas and meet with the city manager. She's been here with willing and open arms to meet with representatives from the city. As we said here 8 days ago, this is an opportunity. We never viewed it as a problem. That's what Texans do. And if for some reason unforeknown that meeting tomorrow is not possible, I can't imagine why it wouldn't be, then the city manager said she'll bring Texas to New York City. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you being here. And I again say I look forward to Stanley Marks' portrait being put back in this window. Texans care. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hi, Candace. How are you?